This is the rumor details for Avatar Land at Disneyland. So we're not talking about any Orlando stuff. We're talking about California stuff right now. Okay, everyone. See? Okay, so now we're gonna get into this video finally. Okay, so let's just start it.
Hi there, Waltoneers. I'm Jack, and
Not
this
too loud,
is DSNY Newscast. And today, I want to talk about some Disneyland-related topics, as we have the Avatar experience that's going to be coming to the Disneyland Resort. We've got the Disneyland 4 proposal, which should hopefully be wrapping up fairly soon and making its way through.
That's already been approved, by the way.
Process.
That's been approved.
And then also, I want to briefly talk about this Avengers e-ticket attraction that was announced to be coming to California a while back as well.
Yes, I need that.
But mainly today, what I want to talk about is this Avatar experience coming to the Disneyland Resort. As you know, this whole thing began early on in 2023 when, seemingly out of the blue, it was just officially announced by CEO Bob Iger that an Avatar experience of some sort would be coming to the Disneyland Resort. And
he did announce that, though? Like, he just went out and said it? I thought it was just a rumor. So it's rumor details about the land. So it's already been like, hey, we're doing this, you know? He said it, right?
Since then, you know, over that course of the year, we had quite a few mentions of this Avatar experience peppered along the way, but no such details were given of what this experience would be. And well, that all kind of changed around 2 weeks ago when Disney decided to suddenly reveal this piece of concept art for the Avatar experience that's going to be coming to the Disneyland Resort.
Ooh, look at this. All right, so we got kid on the back, you know, typical, okay. You got someone pointing. There's animals. Okay, so we have animals. I would assume animatronic animals. Okay, so let's just say one thing. Concept art, let's just say concept art, okay? Because obviously it's not going to probably be exactly like this. They're going to probably have the bridge like this, right? You know, it'll be just like a standard bridge, but it'll look cool, right? They may in fact have like a small world type boat ride, kind of like how Navi River is, but they'll have some instance of it on the outside, a la, you know, Tiana Splash Mountain, right? Something like that, but a little bit more interactive to where you can see people walking. And then I'm sure they'll have, you know, blockage, so you're not supposed to be walking here. And then, but what are these animals though? Are these going to be like animatronics? Because you can't have just regular animals there. So this part might be just a little, maybe like, you know, maybe animatronics, I would say, but like, where the only place that I see animatronics anywhere is at the beginning of that are like in the open. Animatronics that are in the open, let's say, not like in a ride, would be Nemo, right? They got the birds. Mine. That's it. That's all they have there. If you can think of anything else, I can't think of anything else. What has an animatronic like that that's in front of a ride, or that's visual to where you can interact with it, right? I'm trying to think. I can't think of any.
Although it was titled at the time as being a creative inspiration piece of artwork, this blue sky artwork does give us all a good...
I do like this, though. That's kind of dope. It's like, it's very, it's like video gamey, you know what I mean? So, but that's cool looking.
Understanding of,
and also they can have like a little water area like they do at Magic Kingdom, where they have Storybook Circus. You can have an interactive water thing just like Moana right there in the corner too. It'll definitely be more interactive. So this concept is, see, there's the other boat too. So that's pretty cool.
Of what Disney is intending in terms of the scale
pretty
and
dope
scope for this project. And in actual fact, at the time, just around a week before that artwork dropped, I actually did mention in a video a very brief overview of what I'd heard was going to be part of this Avatar experience, and it did line up quite well with what we saw in the artwork. So I said I'd do a more in-depth video on the topic. So let's talk about everything we know so far about the Avatar experience. Let's talk about the...
Now I'm kind of upset that we don't have something like that at Animal Kingdom, you know? I mean, everywhere has to have their own little different thing. Like, we don't have Avengers Campus, which I want. I would like Avengers Campus, but what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Not make this too loud. I think I'm too loud. So yeah, you know,
logistics that will go into making it happen, and then also talk about some of the rumored details of what could be within this experience. And I think that's actually a good place to start. We should probably talk about this term experience. You know, this word keeps getting thrown around out there, and I see a lot of people wondering, you know, what does this exactly mean? And what I would say is don't read too much into this experience tag, as oftentimes when it comes to Disney marketing speak, they have their own kind of language, and Disney marketing like to use it as kind of a catch-all term for everything within a Disney park. And they also like to use it when they don't want to necessarily specify exactly what a project is. And a great example of this is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as that was famously announced at the D23 Expo in 2015 by Bob Iger as being 2 Star Wars themed lands on stage. And then in 2016, in a special program celebrating Disneyland's 60th, it was announced as being a Star Wars experience, despite it still being a land planned for Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, despite them using the experience term from time to time, don't read too much into it. And clearly, if we look at the artwork, it's quite clear that this Avatar experience is going to be some sort of Avatar-themed land. And then that brings us to the next question here, which is, where could this realistically go? As it's going to need quite a sizable piece of land to make it work. And I can tell you, from what I've heard, supposedly, this Avatar experience is going to be going into Disney California Venture. That's what's being rumored at the moment.
I don't know why. Okay, so the question, okay, if it's a matter of space, then I would kind of get that, because they probably have more space on that side. But I feel like, wait, no. I think California Adventure needs it, actually, because they have, I feel like they have less rides, right? I feel like they have less rides.
It's going to be going into Disney California Adventure, and the location is the corner of the park where Hollywoodland and the backlot area currently is. And that would mean you've got roughly around 3 to 4 acres of space to work with in the...
That's not enough. Do you see that? That's not enough. Yeah, even though I feel like it also, yeah, they have less attractive. It makes more sense to DCA than Disneyland. It does, right? It really does. Because they are the ones that have most of the lands, like locked down in a way. Like they have Cars Land, they have Avengers Campus. You know, like they have more of like the land shot. Even though you could say like, oh, Adventureland or no, we ain't talking about those lands. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, yes, that's a land. Toy Story Land, that's a land, right? We're talking about actual lands. Dino Land USA, maybe no more, and then whatever that area is going to be. I feel like 4 acres is not enough for that. But it's gonna have to be enough, you know? Smokey, make it enough. Right? So I feel like that they're gonna have to make do with that. So they're gonna have to like, this is gonna be thin, by the way, because look at the walkway. It's a little walkway that you had, you know? Like you go through here and then that way. Wait, where is... I'm trying to see where everything is at. Oh, this is the entrance. Okay. So then back here is where, not you, here. This is where like Avengers kind of starts in a way. Because I think this is Pym. So when you turn this way and come this way, the Guardians is right here. So this is not enough space. The monorail cuts through that area. You're right. I see it now. And it goes right through. It goes right there on California Adventure? I did not know that. It goes right through, like, almost by the front? Interesting. How? They can't do that. They can't do that. That means they would have to shut down the monorail and they would have to rebuild the monorail to go around it. Because why would you put a monorail through Avatar Land? Yeah, they can't do that here.
That corner of Disney California Adventure, as after all, there's quite a bit of unused dead
But dude,
space,
does he know that?
in that section of park, such as Stage 17 isn't being used for anything, Hollywood and Dine isn't being used for anything at the moment, and then, you know, to free up that space of 3 to 4 acres for this Avatar experience over there, you'd also have to say goodbye to the Monsters Inc. attraction as part of
Monsters over there too?
In that
oh, that is Monsters.
So, you know, they've got some space to work with there. But the reason why they
can't do it.
Disneyland Forward being mentioned in the same breath as the Avatar experience, it's actually been mentioned in the same sentence by Josh Damara in an article, is because it all depends upon that happening for them to then build the Avatar experience the way they would like to. As when it comes to the Disneyland Forward proposal, it's about long-term planning for the resort and long-term growth over the next 3 decades.
I haven't even paid attention to what that's about. Possible immersive theme park could include hotel, retail, dining, entertainment. So wait, what is the parking, which is not enough parking? This says orange, possible expansion, possible theme park experience in pink. Where is that? Is that what this little thing is? That's what these little things are?
8 to 30 years of
that's no space.
To the Disneyland.
And also, by the way, look at this. Look at these roads. That's the other thing. You have Harbor Boulevard, right? You have this. You have the highway. You have Disneyland Drive and then Walnut Street. And look at all these roads. Where are you going to put this stuff? There's no space. You can't do anything. I mean, granted, it was probably a brilliant idea back in like whenever Disneyland was created that it would go right here, and like you would have never thought it would expand to the space that it needs now. But that's nothing compared to Disney World. Like just the spacing, like they have nothing to work with. You would have to buy out people all on these all over these blocks and like take over the street and then literally cut the street off. So get rid of the street, no more, bye-bye street. And then you would just have all this space, right? And then you go to Walnut Street, and you know what? You come to this side, you say, hey guys, what are you guys doing over here? Hey, here you go, here's some money. Leave us alone. And then you cut this off, and then you build more. That's all you can do.
Of expansion to the Disneyland Resort. But in the immediate future, this Disneyland 4 proposal is about making it work so therefore they can expand the existing parks. And the first thing I think they'll want to do is move forward with
but you can't do that.
Some of the infrastructure, some of the security and things like that within the Esplanade over to the other side of Harbor Boulevard.
You have to move buildings to different buildings.
In the current plans for the Disneyland 4 proposal, they've even said they want to build a new parking structure over on the other side of the Harbor Boulevard and then connect it back to the main section of Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. And this kind of ties in with the Eastern Gateway proposal, the project from back in 2017 that fell by the wayside. And if they were...
Wait, hold on. So wait, okay. So this is the proposal, right? This is Disneyland. This is California Adventure, and the parking, there's parking over there or whatever. There's parking on the other side. Oh, there's like going to be a bridge. Okay, because like, yeah, there's Waffle House or IHOP. I forget which one's there. There's a hotel there. McDonald's is over there somewhere. I remember because I used to stay at a hotel over here. I stayed at a hotel a couple blocks down this way. It actually was further down. Okay, so the parking is going to be on this other side. Okay, parking structure, transportation. Oh, look, they got like little buses and stuff. This is so congested, it's crazy, man. This street, just driving here is just insane. It just still amazes me how just Disneyland is just like right on a street, and like the monorail is just like right You can just see it just driving by. It's crazy.
From back in 2017 that fell by the wayside. And if they were to move forward with something similar to that, but obviously modify the plans to make it suitable for the rest of the businesses on Harbour Boulevard, then if they were to relocate the bus loop area over to the other side of Harbour Boulevard, that would mean they could expand out that corner of California Venture and make this Avatar themed land area, take it from around 3 to 4 acres to maybe 5 to 6 acres in size instead. And yes, I know it's still smaller than Pandora, the world of Avatar, over at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
That measures as around 9 to 10 acres in size, depending on the measure of the backstage infrastructure as well. But a new 6-acre land being put into that corner of California Venture
is good.
I think would be a massive plus to California Venture as a whole. But then we got to come to the more heavily rumored section of this video. You know, where's the monorail? And
that's the rumored section.
I think it's fairly obvious straight away that this is heavily inspired by Avatar 2 Way of Water.
The Way of Water, okay. But let me just say, like, is he going to mention the fact that the monorail's there? And how does that impact the experience or immersion of that land when you have a monorail going right through it? I got this gnat in my house. So I don't know.
As you know, the landscape is very reminiscent of the Reef Village that we were introduced to. That environment.
I haven't watched this yet. I haven't watched part 2 yet.
Work in the background over there is clearly the Cove of the Ancestors that was seen within.
That's dope. Okay.
That's where we're going to be.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
For this new Avatar themed land. You know, it's not going to be a clone of Pandora, the world of Avatar.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Themed around the 2009, the original Avatar movie.
It shouldn't be a clone.
This land is going to be based more around Avatar 2 and the future movies on from here as well.
That is cool.
So it's very interesting. That's the direction they're going with this land. But then we've got to talk about what will be within the land. And it's rumored that this will be using a major e-ticket boat ride as its main anchor centerpiece attraction for this land.
Why e-ticket?
This would be a massive plus to California Venture to have a major boat ride like this, because it would be very high capacity. And the boat ride in question, which is being rumored, is supposedly the Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Sunken Treasure. You know, that magnetic boat ride technology system that we saw from Shanghai Disneyland, supposedly being brought stateside to the US.
Ooh, wait, hold up now, Sonny Jim. What's this again?
Capacity. And the boat ride in question, which is being rumored, is supposedly the Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Sunken Treasure. You know, that magnetic boat ride technology system that we saw.
Hold on. They spell Shanghai. So do they have like a how it works? Oh yes. Hold on, we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch that in a second. I want to see that.
Or from Shanghai Disneyland, supposedly being brought.
That's what I'm gonna watch. Yeah.
To the US.
Let me tell you. Tokyo Disney, from what I've seen, and like I guess Shanghai also does this well. Their technology or like their animatronics, I guess it's because, you know, it's like a franchise, right? So they pay Disney to like use their stuff or whatever, and they put their own money into it too. So they I guess have a lot of money to like, and built it into these. The animatronics look so much better in Tokyo, and like it's just insane, man. And it's just like, how come we don't? But finally, at least like we're trying to grab something, like let them build it and then we get it. But that's all well and good. But like, how come we ain't innovating like that? You know? Why not us? You know? Why can't we do it?
And put within the Avatar land experience. And if we're just looking at the artwork here, those
look at this guy. Is he taking a picture? Is he doing a selfie, or is he pointing? It looks like he's pointing. He's like, oh, I thought he was taking a selfie. That would have been funny if they had that.
In the artwork is fairly similar to the boat ride configuration that we see over in Shanghai Disneyland. So it could possibly be hinting at it being
That's a
more
big
that level
boat.
of boat ride instead of a Nave River Journey.
That's a
It's gonna
big
be
boat.
A major e-ticket boat ride attraction.
Look
And
at
I actually do
that.
think if they are to go in this direction with the Battle of Sunken Treasure boat ride system, it will work very well with the
I want to
Avatar
watch
2
that
Way of
video.
Water storyline. As you know, within that attraction, the Pirates of the Caribbean one, that is,
Look at
they
that.
have
It
that
has a screen and
360-degree
everything.
projection dome scene where they take you from the bottom of the depths of the ocean floor and they rise you right up to the top of the ocean. And they can just do that whole thing in reverse and make you dive beneath the ocean, down deep like they do in Way of Water, to actually float alongside
That's
the
brilliant.
whale-like creatures that we saw in that movie called the Tolkien. And in many
That's
ways,
brilliant.
this would mirror the kind of overall theme.
I want to watch
of
that
these
video
two attractions,
next.
of Flight of Passage, and if they are to go in this direction for this ride, it would mirror it with Flight of Passage. As Flight of Passage is all about the connection that the Na'vi
Flight of Passage
has
is
with
dope.
Ikron, you know.
I love Flight of Passage. I think it's dope. The one thing that I guess they're having the issue with now is that the glasses are scratched, so it's causing people not to see in 3D anymore. So there's that. I love Flight of Passage. It's pretty awesome. It stinks now because, well, it doesn't stink because I can stream through it, so it's fine. But you guys can't really see it on your end because I can't hold the glasses for you. But that's it's like it's on my top 5 ride, definitely, at the parks.
Riding on the back of the Banshee and the special connection they have with the Ikron. Whereas if they are to go in this direction with this attraction, they could highlight and showcase the special connection between the Na'vi and the Tolkien, you know, those whale-like creatures in this attraction. So it'd be kind of, you know, tying the two things together,
which is cool.
but also making them original by themselves.
I still gotta watch it though. You're just spoiling it.
Boat ride technology. That's a massive show building. Now this is that show building overlaid into that spot within California Adventure. You can see it is huge, this show building.
Oh wow.
So they're going to need quite a bit of space to make it work. But also the other thing you got to think about here is sightlines and how are they going to hide this huge show building. And oftentimes, you know, they will just set things further back if they've got the space to actually just hide it out of sight.
But you can't there.
In Pandora the World of Avatar,
you're gonna have to.
Kingdom, they didn't do that. They themed the exterior of the
show
building
exactly.
It's such a tall show building, you know, that Flight of Passage show building,
which is dope. I love that building. That's like one of the best. That's one of the best queues I've seen. That one is super awesome, and just as a regular queue, like with no extra things that you have to do, like take Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance isn't a great queue line. Let's be honest. Can we be honest? It's not a great queue line. Like the initial like front of it where the waterfall is and everything, that's kind of cool. But other than that, the inside, I mean, it's supposed to be themed as the Resistance, so it's not going to be flashy, right? So you get that. Whereas Avatars, just the queue line itself, like you're first of all, you walk through all the vegetation and the waterfall and everything, and it's great. Then when you get inside, the second part's not so great, but it's like a cave, and you can see like cave drawings and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. The next one is where you're in like the jungle, almost like you're deep inside, but then it also goes into where the humans built their stuff. So now you're going through that. And then you go through the facility. The facility is the dopest part. It has all these little weird things moving around. It has an actual avatar body. Like, it's dope, right? And then you get in and do all that stuff. But Rise of Resistance ain't like that. It's not great until you actually when you start the ride where you see Rey and all that other stuff. So other than that, there's not many other ride queues that are awesome. Guardians has a great line queue. But I mean, it's not as great as something else. Peter Pan has a great one. Peter Pan has a great line queue. Interactive also. Well, somewhat interactive, but it only lasts a little section. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
I think that's what we're probably looking at here again within this concept art for Disneyland, is this massive rock work with the Cove of the Ancestors is probably
Which is dope. Hiding the building itself,
massive show building for this attraction, which is going to be very grandiose, probably use a lot of forced perspective as well, but it's going to be very impressive. I can't wait to see this happen if this is the direction they're going with.
If that's how they do it, yeah, that would be dope.
And then the last thing, which I think might be a bit of an issue in terms of the theming,
there we go. Thank you. I was hoping you would say that, sir. A man of your caliber cannot miss this oversight. You cannot oversight this.
Monorail, as that's going to zip straight through the land.
Right. How does that work?
We don't want to have a futuristic monorail zipping straight through this Avatar themes land, as it would probably ruin the theme of the overall land, but they'll probably have to find a way to hide it behind something so it's not visible from within the land. And then we got to talk about timeline for this whole thing.
That's it.
That is, you know, when
just block it, make it invisible.
And I think, you know, there's a couple of dates which the Disneyland execs probably have in mind here. First one would have been the Disneyland's 70th anniversary, which takes place next year, but you know, that's not realistic.
Not happen, yeah.
You know, they're not going to be able to get this thing open in time within a year, so you know, they're not going to be able to do that. So
it's got to be at least 3 to 5 years
on their calendar is 2028, as that's the year that Los Angeles is going to be hosting the Summer Olympics. And so if they manage to get this thing open in time for the Summer Olympics, there's going to be increased attendance and increased focus on Disneyland resorts. And if they had some...
That's brilliant. And that's a cool dome right there. Why does that look like for baseball, though?
Major to open then, you know,
soccer.
Get those people coming out to see the Olympics to come visit Disneyland.
Wait, where are they building all this stuff? Hold on. They're just reusing old buildings, right? Because there's no way they can, like... Because what happens is when someone gets a bid for something, they start buying out property and doing all this weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. Weird. I don't know where they're putting it.
It would be a great way to tie that in. So 2028 might be possible, but they'd need to begin work on it immediately this year to get going ready for then. But that's where I want to talk about the Avengers e-ticket attraction, which was previously announced to be coming to California Adventure
Experience,
well.
that's what they're saying.
D23 Expo in 2022.
Yes.
We haven't seen any work happen on this ride yet in that area.
Can I just say that looks awesome? I just want that. That's all I want. And you can tell it's awesome because number one, there's 2 Spider-Mans. Let's just say that. There's 2 Spider-Mans. There's 3 captains, right? First of all, he's animated. He's an animated one. There's 2 Thors. Like, dope. I love this. I want this.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up is if they do want to have something open in time for the Summer Olympics in 2028, that space over there is ready to be built on straight away. You know, it's buildable land ready to go.
It's buildable, yeah.
Begin construction. Whereas to make this Avatar experience happen over in this corner of California Adventure, they're going to have to demo a lot of buildings.
Yep.
They're going to have to work around the monorail. They're going to also have to relocate the bus loop before they can even begin to expand out into that corner. So that probably means it won't happen, you know, within that time frame. Whereas the Avengers e-ticket attraction, which was
could be ready for 2028,
could open in time for 2028 and the Summer Olympics. Quite realistically, that could happen. So for this e-ticket Avengers attraction,
definitely
what's rumored with this is it's going to supposedly be using the same ride system that's going to be debuting with the Peter Pan Neverland attraction within Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disney Sea.
And that's what I'm
there. So that opens in June of this year, and we'll be able to see what that ride system looks like and how it will function. But it's a simulator ride system with the 3D motion graphics, things like that, to work with it. And that's
I love it.
What we're going to be able to see.
And I tell you what, if they half-ass this ride, I'm just saying, just because this in general looks dope, right? The visuals need to be superb. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
With this Avengers e-ticket attraction as well. Obviously, the Avengers e-ticket, it was announced kind of tentatively back in 2019 as like a phase 2, and originally what was planned for this Avengers e-ticket was individual flight. They were wanting to make us all have individual flights, so we could sit there with our own, jet packs on, basically.
Oh,
and
yeah.
fight alongside the Avengers.
That would have been
with
cool.
Individual flight, but that ride system didn't prove to be very, feasible.
It's
for what they wanted
impractical
in terms of capacity and things like that. And so therefore they've moved in a different direction. So stay tuned.
That
to
would be
to
dope,
see
though.
What that looks like to get a good
To
idea.
get single,
for this Avengers
permanent single rider. But you know how long that would take to get everyone in and out? That's crazy.
ticket attraction, and they'll begin to build on that
Crazy.
hopefully fairly soon. And then the last thing I want to talk about today is Disney California Adventure as a name. We've just seen
it's dumb.
Studios Park over in Disneyland Paris get a new name. I don't think it's a particularly good name, Disney Adventure World. I would have much preferred Disney Cinemagique Park. I think that would have been much better. But they went with Disney Adventure World, and that's got a new name. And possibly could we see Disney California Adventure get a new name as well after this whole thing? And I think after this Avatar experience opens at California Adventure, I think they will probably have to give it a new name, this park. And personally, if I was to rename it, I would try and keep the acronym the same, DCA, and I would call it Disney Cinematic Adventure Park. So that could
Hey,
work,
I like
but
that's
I
not
think
bad.
they're going to have to change up the name in the long run, the next 5 years of Disney California Adventure as the park continues to grow, because you can grow the other side as well over near Pixar Pier. And as it continues to grow this park, they're going to probably have to give it a new name. But now it's over to you, Walt.
Can I say though is that I do like California Adventures themes. I think I might have said that already. The themes are better there than they are at Disneyland. Just saying.
Is I would like to know, what are your thoughts and opinions on
What are your thoughts?
everything that's
Let's
been
finish that
discussed
video.
today? I know it's been a bit of a long video. We've gone into a lot of different topics, but I'd love to know, what are your thoughts and opinions on this Avatar experience coming to Disneyland? Are you excited about it? What would you like to see in terms of a ride system?
That was a great video.
In general?
That was a great video.
Also,
Definitely watch it. I mean, I'm not losing him subs or views, so it's good. But yeah, he does got a point. I was hoping that he would mention the monorail though, just because that's like a big thing. It's like right through the middle. But yeah, they have such a limited space there. They would have to definitely finagle some stuff, and it wouldn't be a lot of wiggle room over there. So, but the Avatar Land would be kind of dope there, and I like that little boat ride, which is pretty cool. And having said that, I need to watch this Pirates ride too. So yeah, there's that video. You can give it a like, watch it if you want. And then we gotta check out this other video here, because